Ladies and gentlemen, a new era, a new beginning, a reason to be optimistic, ladies and gentlemen, for next season. Gone is the last season's nightmare. Let's embrace Mauricio Pochettino's era, and let's hope that he truly turns things around massively.
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. We've finally got the announcement, as per Fabrizio Romano, who's been saying it over the past couple of days, that an announcement is imminent, and we finally got this. Chelsea Football Club is pleased to announce Mauricio Pochettino as the club's new head coach. Fantastic news! I think he starts from 1st of July, and it's a 2-year plus 1 year contract terms that we have with Mauricio Pochettino, which is perfect. And the 1-year option is on the club. It's so if we see that he's not performing over the upcoming 2 years, then we definitely can part ways with Mauricio Pochettino. But I don't want to think about that. It has to work out for us. This particular appointment, we cannot sit here and think that this is going to go sideways, because if it does go sideways, we are finished. We are finito. So for me, all the eggs are on this basket to work out. And similarly for Pochettino as well, he's been away from the game for a little while. He's going to obviously want to do well as well. So it's great. So we've got a manager that is thriving to succeed, not just for himself, but for the club. And then obviously we've got Chelsea Football Club, who definitely needs to bounce back off the back of this shambolic season that just finished. This is what Ben Jacobs had to say. I think this is just extract from this particular article from the website. Let's have a look at what Ben Jacobs had to say. Chelsea confirmed Mauricio Pochettino as their new manager. As the process developed, it was clear he was Chelsea's first choice. This is because he bought into the sporting structure. Pochettino, in the end, was the only candidate Chelsea held advanced and significant talks with. So there were a lot of talks about Nagelsmann not believing in the sporting structure. Luis Enrique, I think, wanted the Chelsea job, but Chelsea weren't too keen about his overall profile. So at the end of the day, Poch met all the criteria, and he did his due diligence as well. He did his own research on Chelsea Football Club as much as Chelsea did their research on Mauricio Pochettino as well. Further, Ben Jacobs goes on to say Pochettino signs a 3-year deal until summer 2026, so it's 2+1. Miguel D'Agostino, Jesus Perez, Tony Jimenez, and Pochettino's sports scientist son Sebastiano will also join, which is fantastic. Pochettino emphasized during his interview, which was very much two-way process. He wants Mason Mount to stay, but it remains to be seen whether he can influence things. Man United pushing, Liverpool and Arsenal are also a cross situation. Look, it is a sad situation somewhat that a manager wants a player to stay and we can't do anything about it. But I feel like the cards are not all with us. We don't hold all the cards in this particular matter. Mason Mount, look, it's clear as daylight. Manager wants to keep him. Club wants to keep him. If he truly loves us, then find a middle ground. But if he's not keen and if he thinks that middle ground is not good enough and he can get better elsewhere, well, so be it. And that's where Pochettino will have to realize he's got to find other alternatives. Pochettino also views Levi Colwill as a big part of his plans. No intention to sell or loan the centre-back this summer, which is perfect, but we better have a plan for Levi Colwill. No point in saying that, he's a big part of the plan. He's got to feel like that, because at the moment, this particular player, he's feeling like, he's feeling like, he's closer to Brighton Football Club. So we have to make sure we set up a right blueprint, we set up a right plan that he's going to be a major part of the football club moving forward next season. If I'm Levi Colwill, I am a little bit doubtful as to what's going on in Chelsea Football Club, and also all the different centre-backs that we have. Patti Shield, Wesley Fofana, Koulibaly, Thiago Silva. So where does Levi Colwill fall into the mix? If we're going to revert to 2 CBs, he's going to have to feel that, well, am I going to be a starter, or am I going to be one of those rotational players? Don't forget, there's not many games to be played next season, only one per week, and the domestic cup. So hopefully we go as deep as possible in the domestic clubs. But the bottom line, what I'm trying to say is that he's a talented player. We need to have the right plans for him. I'm not saying don't give him any competitions or anything like that. Definitely healthy competition is good, but sometimes too much competition is not good as well. Chalobah as well, I forgot his name. So there's plenty of CBs in the mix. I think at least one has to go for Levi Colwell to come through. And there's some information about Koulibaly as well, which we'll get to. Outgoings remain vital. Pochettino is intent on creating a strong dressing room bond, and he needs a manageable squad size to do this. He will work very closely with Lawrence Stewart and Paul Winstanley, an exciting appointment and one Chelsea have been thorough with. So look, bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, Mauricio Pochettino has a huge task in hand, massive task. We've got to get rid of a lot of players. Our owners need to start learning from the mistakes that they've made this season that just finished, and I think they are learning. The board fully has to commit themselves to Mauricio Pochettino. If there's any players that are not buying into Pochettino's plans, they need to go. They need to go. We have to back Poch. If Poch says this player is not part of our plans, gone. Even if we've purchased that particular player for XYZ amount of money, if Poch thinks this is not a good fit, we have to find a way to get rid of them. Loan, sell, whatever the case is. So preseason's got to be nailed on, and the next season, oh my days, we have to be ready from day one. No excuses. I swear to you right now, I don't want to hear any excuses. I'm not expecting top 4 or anything like that. I'm not putting huge burden on Mauricio Pochettino and the team. But if we can come at least 6th, show good progress in our style of football, develop the players, then we can kick on from there. Because let's be honest, what did we finish? 12th, 13th this season? I can't expect Mauricio Pochettino to go next season and just come top 4. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of work that needs to be done. In the last 24 to 48 hours, Chelsea have been pushing for Ugarte. They're trying to convince him and get it done. This is from Fabrizio Romano. If you missed out on the last stream that we did, it was on Ugarte. Do check that out. Lots developing in this particular matter. Moses Caicedo is still on Chelsea's list, despite Ugarte being a priority. I want both. I seriously want both. I want a lot of our midfielders to go, and I want some new midfielders. Manuel Ugarte is admired by Pochettino. Ugarte is being prioritized. Chelsea's shortlist includes Yusuf Fofana, Romeo Lavia, Moses Caicedo, and Alexis McAllister. Alexis McAllister. Why do we even have his name still in there? There's no way. McAllister's going Liverpool, so I'm not buying into that from Jacob Steinberg. Kovacic and Mount are expected to be sold. That makes sense. Mount, I think, will be sold. Looks like Man United is the most favorite suitor at the moment. And Kovacic, for me, doesn't look like he wants to stick around. So if we can find a place for Kovacic as well, fantastic. Yusuf Fofana, Romeo Lavia. Look, I don't know too much about Yusuf Fofana, but Romeo Lavia and Moses Caicedo. If we are getting Manuel Ugarte, which looks like we are one of the front runners, I would then want Moses Caicedo. Look, if we don't get Moses Caicedo, all right, I can settle with Romeo Lavia. Want to work for the future, but Moses Caicedo for me is, well experienced, well versed, and I think Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Manuel Ugarte. I think that will be a dynamic midfield, one that will definitely, will be able to compete with the strongest of teams in the Premier League next season. Barcelona keeping tabs on Ugarte. Honestly, Gerard Romero, up to his own crappy business again. I was going to say some other stuff, but I don't want to get demonetized. Barcelona, where they find these guts from, man? Where they find the confidence like this? Financially, they're down. They want to bring in Messi back into Barcelona. They've got to get rid of a whole heap of players to open up some space for wages. Where do they get the audacity to talk about bringing a player like Ugarte? And aren't they interested in Zubimendi? What's going on? Like Gerard Romero, man, stop muddling about with Chelsea's business, man. Just stay away for once. Like, I don't want you to interrupt us like the last summer window, please. It's quite annoying, Gerard Romero. Crystal Palace may explore a loan deal for Lewis Hall. They have been monitoring him. This is from Simon Jones. Look, serious conversation. This is where I need you guys to comment. Please, in the comment section, let me know. Lewis Hall, this is my thought about Lewis Hall. Talented player. We've seen. Should have got a gazillion amount of assists this season. Didn't get it because we can't finish. I feel sorry for him. If we do keep him, we cannot just keep him for the sake of just keeping him and rotting him in the bench. If we keep him, there needs to be clear plans, much like for all the other youngsters that we have. If we keep him, he's either got to start or he needs to get minutes off the bench. I don't want to just keep him and just have him in the training grounds and that's it. That will stunt his development. That will, crush his confidence. No need for that. If we cannot promise him some game time, whether it starts, whether it's off the bench, send him on a loan. Send him out on a loan. Simple as that. But if we can promise him game time, then keep him. But if that's the case, we do need to find a solution for what do we want to do? Where do we want to play him? As a left back? As a midfielder? As a midfielder, we're getting a lot of these midfielders, and some of our midfielders will stay. So where's the clear plan there? As a left back, we better then find a solution for Cucurella and Chilwell. I know both of them get injured. Not really Cucurella this season, but Chilwell. Chilwell's injury prone. I understand that. But it's not healthy to keep 3 left backs. And don't forget Ian Maatsen. So we have to sort all of that out. If we keep him, we've got all of these other domino effects that we need to sort out. And we need to ensure that we give him minutes. But if we cannot promise him game time, loan. And I think he can do better than Crystal Palace. Look, at the end of the day, Crystal Palace, not bad. London club. So he doesn't need to move too far. Brighton, for me, would be sensational. I know they have Estupinian there. So whether they're going to be interested or not, but Brighton, early morning, the voice takes a bit of time to warm up. But with Brighton, they are in Europa. They're in Europe, obviously, so they may need the depth. So that could be a good destination for for Lewis Hall. And I want him to play that level of football under De Zerbi, fast-paced, possession-based football. So Crystal Palace, they'll be playing counter-attacking football a lot of the time. Look, for a fullback, does that truly matter? Probably not, because at the end of the day, you got to defend well and bomb up as much as you can and produce those crosses. So it doesn't really matter, I suppose, from a possession-based footballing team, but maybe for build-up, definitely does matter. And I think, getting that exposure with Brighton, I think will be good. That would be my preference. But bottom line, if we can't give him minutes, loan. But let me know, ladies and gentlemen, in the comment section, what do you want with Lewis Hall? Next up, Chelsea are interested in Victor Osimhen and Lautaro Martinez, but will not panic in their search for striker. They believe Christopher Nkunku can play number 9. I don't believe this. Look, can he play as a false 9? Nkunku, of course he can, but I don't think that's effective. I'm pretty sure Poch will understand this. I'd rather him play just behind a striker. We definitely need a striker who's going to bang in goals. We definitely do. As much as I love, the fluid front 3 and whatnot, which is great, but we need someone, a marksman, who's going to put those goals away. Look at the chances that Lewis Hall created over the last couple of matches against Manchester United and Newcastle. We don't have a marksman. We don't have a striker that's going to put those chances. Those were gilt-edged chances that a striker puts away. And Nkunku, he's more devastating just behind a striker. Unless we give João Felix and we have João Felix playing as a number 9. I don't know. And once again, I don't know if completely João Felix, if that's his most comfortable position, but maybe João Felix and Nkunku could work out. But a couple of things here. I like the fact that we're not going to panic, which is perfect. Let's not panic about this, but at the same time, let's try and find a good solution. And if we can't find a solution, maybe look into what we have right now, which is Armando Broja. I think David Datro Fofana is probably going to will be let go of, but maybe see if there's something with Armando Broja. If not, João Felix and Nkunku up front. I think Nkunku just behind Felix, and then you can still have Raheem Sterling on the left, and you could potentially have Madueke on the right. So I think that could be the scenario. I know a lot of you guys will be saying, what about Mudryk? But, come off the bench. There'll be certain games where you'll probably start. At the moment, Mudryk has to impress quite a bit. I know 100 million player playing in the bench. Yeah, right now he's got to impress. He's got to do a lot better. So healthy competition is great up front. If we go with a 4-2-3-1, so there'll be 4 attackers, 3-1. Mudryk should get chances off the bench, and eventually enough he'll get starts. And if he does well, he'll probably take someone's position as well. So it's a bit of a conundrum, but for me, I don't think we should just play with Nkunku up front. I think we need someone, a partner, and I genuinely think Nkunku just behind a particular striker will be much beneficial for us. But once again, let me know, ladies and gentlemen. Goalkeeper search: David Raya, Andre Onana, and Emiliano Martinez. All of these goalkeepers I like. But if I had a choice, I think I'd go with Andre Onana, probably for his distribution, better than those two. But in terms of shot-stopping ability, I think all of them are just as good. So, look, if we can prize out Andre Onana from Inter Milan after the Champions League final, why not? But ladies and gentlemen, once again, in the comment section, let me know, who's your preference out of the 3? Who is your preference out of the 3? Next up, Kalidou Koulibaly is in the list of players who could get sold. This is from Jacob Steinberg. And this, rumor has been floating around for quite a bit of time now. Kalidou Koulibaly has just not settled. I won't be too upset if this happened. I think he just hasn't settled. I think the pace of the game in the Premier League is a bit too much, but I can't see it happening. 4-year contract, I think. He's only finished 1 year, 3 more years to go, and he's on some hefty wages. If he does leave to Serie A, they ain't paying those wages, so I can't see this happening. I think he's going to stick around, and if he does stick around, I hope he performs well for us next season. And these are the things we need to remember when we talk about Leeway Cole. Players like Koulibaly sticking around. We've got Wesley Fofana. We've got Chalobah. We've got Buddy Shield. And then and don't forget Silva. And then we also won Leeway Cole. So some hard decisions will have to be made. Chelsea are prepared to move quickly on a signing. They don't have to wait for outgoings. It's just a priority. 7 to 10 players are in danger. This is from Ben Jacobs. Further goes on to say Chelsea could go for Caicedo if there is enough outgoings in midfield. Perfect. I love this. We should be going for Caicedo, regardless. We should be. Get rid of Cover. Get rid of Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Get rid of Galadog. Get rid of Mason Mount. Get Ugarte. Get Caicedo. Keep Chukwuemeka. People talk about Andre Santos as well. Maybe there's an opportunity for him to stick around in midfield. And let's build with that. I'd love to see Chukwuemeka be part of the team. Love to see that. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, this is a bit heartfelt. Honestly, I felt so sad seeing this. Reece James shares one of his diary entries showing the struggles of injuries. Excuse me, really struggling with the voice. Early morning, it's just, as I said, takes a bit of time to warm up. Today, 18th May, 11:44 p.m. Look, he goes on to say a whole heap of stuff. It's really heartbreaking. Do take your time to check out that story. But bottom line, it says that, he's struggled. It's one of the lowest of the lows, having all of these injuries. And it's not all glitz and glamour being a football player and the football life. And he's trying his best to stay fit. So I hope, look, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I hope this player finds a way to stay fit next season. It will break my heart. It will break my heart if he's injured once again. I truly, truly wish and pray that he plays a lot of football for us next season. I know we have Malo Gusto, but I truly hope he plays a lot of football for us. So that's all I can say. Best wishes for Reece James. Enzo Fernandez on Instagram. I want to thank all the fans for their support all these months at Stamford Bridge and everywhere we played away. It was not the season we all wanted and that the club deserves. Now it's time to recharge the batteries and come back better to return all your love. See you next season. Chelsea fans all together. We are together. I feel sad for Enzo Fernandez, man. He's given his all. Since he's arrived, I don't think he's missed too many matches, if any. And he's given it his all. I hope next season we can ensure that the support is there for him. And I think he's a future leader, man. All the best, honestly. Enzo Fernandez. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you thought about everything we spoke about. Smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content, specifically in regards to, obviously, the announcement of Pochettino. Let me know what your expectations are for next season. Lewis Hall. Lewis Hall. Let me know what your thoughts on Lewis Hall is. So, interesting time. We shall see you guys for a live tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, as things are going to crank up. Things are going to crank up. Until then, see ya.